What's going on, everybody? Today, I want to give my first impressions for the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. Now, for those of you that are just tech nerds and you're into all types of different tech, not just Samsung, Google, Apple, if you're just interested in seeing all different types of tech, then this is the right video for you. Because I'm going to be talking about my first impression of the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. Of course, if you're in the tech game like that, you already know the name of this already rings a bell because Xiaomi decided to call their phone a Pro Max, which is the same thing the iPhone calls their devices, which I find pretty strange, but I guess they really want to bring attention to their device. But the only thing is, it really don't make a difference in this country because you can't even get these phones here unless you import them. You can't get them through any carriers. So Xiaomi's reason for doing that maybe is more so for, the West. I mean, not the West, the East, because in the West, it's irrelevant, honestly. And the only thing right now, unfortunately, with this device, there's not a global ROM that I know about. It's just a Chinese ROM, which don't necessarily bother me that much. And I'm just talking about me. I'm not talking about you because I know most people that's into Android, you're going to get either a Samsung or a Pixel for the most part, or some other kind of Android, something where you can get through a carrier because most people can't afford to just go out and buy these phones outright. They just can't. They don't have money like that, and I understand it. Excuse me. So this does work, however, on AT&T, and it does work on T-Mobile, and I get 5G services. I get all my, I get all of my notifications on time. That's not a problem. Now, there are some other issues as to why certain features don't work on this phone. I'm talking about the secondary display, as you can see, which is pretty cool. I just love this secondary display. It's so big. See, this is innovation. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Only thing for me, I want it to be bigger and, like somehow move the cameras maybe underneath and just have it just be all display. But because it's a Chinese ROM, there's some features that's not working with the rear display, unfortunately. Now, when you look at this, you can see this was the Mi 11 Ultra, which had the secondary display. So you can see Xiaomi has come a long way. This is just much bigger overall, but it was mostly cameras. It really wasn't secondary display all that much. It was pretty small. But it could do everything this can do, but this is on a much bigger scale. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about innovation. This is real innovation. Okay. And I love this. As soon as I heard about this and heard and seeing the specs, I'm like, I got to get this device. But let me share with you now, the unboxing experience is typical of most Android devices outside of the United States. And what I mean by that, you did get a case. You got a 100-watt charging brick in the box. Okay. And the box is super long and white. Let me show it to you real quick. Nothing really special about the box. It's just, I don't know why they made it so long, but this box is, I mean, this is the longest box I have for a phone. Like I never had a phone, a box this long for a smartphone. It's crazy. But you get, you get your case, you get your charger and all that, which is nice. Now I've had this Mi 11 Ultra for years, and I'm telling y'all right now, I didn't charge this with 67-watt super fast charging for years, and then this battery is still in excellent condition. It really is. I could still get 2 days of battery life from this device. So people that say you're degrading the battery if you charge it that fast all the time, it's not true. Okay, it's not true. So let me share with you the specs for the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. So it was released just in September of this year. And when it comes to the specs, now with the build quality, now you're dealing with Xiaomi's Dragon Crystal Glass 3 on the front. That is, this front display is Dragon Crystal. Now, I don't know exactly what Dragon Crystal is. Never heard of it. But hopefully it's good quality. Now, they do give you a pre-installed screen protector on this, which I think is really, really nice. So I don't even have to worry about the display itself getting, scratched up or anything like that. But if when the screen, when the in display, excuse me, when the pre-installed screen protector does get messed up, which it will, I guess, at some point, I'll just peel it off and put a screen protector on it, because this display is completely flat. I mean, for those of you that are tired of curved displays, you don't have to worry about it. They're starting to all go back to flat displays. This is completely flat, so it'll be easy to apply a glass screen protector. But it does come with one pre-installed, and I haven't had no issues with it. No micro scratches, nothing. Okay. Now, it does come with an aluminum frame and a frosted back. Now, the thing, I like the build quality on the Mi 11 Ultra better because it has a ceramic back. And this phone is definitely much, much heavier than this phone. Now, I don't remember the weight, but it definitely is. And that ceramic is heavy. But this definitely feels more premium than this. But when it comes to weight, you want the lighter phone, you want to go with the 17 Pro Max. But it does have a frosted back, so no fingerprints or anything like that. It is slippery for me because my hands are usually always really, really dry. So it does come with the case. You can always buy a case and put a case on it if you need to, but it does have a nice feel to it. I was just comparing it to the Mi 11 Ultra, which has a ceramic back. Okay. And this phone also has flat sides. So it's flat on the front, and also the sides are flat all the way around, which is nice. Now, this phone also comes in 4 different colors. You can get it in black, white, green, and purple. Okay, I went with the green because I like the green. It also comes with dual SIM slots. For those of you that like to use 2 SIMs at the same time, you can with this device. And I already told you that it does work with AT&T and T-Mobile with 5G service. No Verizon, so only GSM only. Now, with the display, you get a 6.9-inch LTPO AMOLED display with 120 hertz, Dolby Vision, HDR Vivid, HDR10 Plus, 3,500 nits peak brightness, the resolution of 1200 by 2608, pixels 416. Now, the disappointment with the display for me, it is that it's not a Quad HD display. I can tell. I know some people say they can't tell. I can tell because I have a bunch of Quad HD display devices. It's still a beautiful display. Don't get it twisted now. It's a beautiful, beautiful display, but it's not Quad HD. I don't like that, especially for a flagship device. All flagship devices should have Quad HD displays. That's what we're used to. Now, I think maybe the reason why they're trying to cut back on the resolution a little is because they want to conserve more battery. But look, let a person decide how they want to use their device. If they want to use 1080p to preserve battery, fine. If they want to use Quad HD, that should be an option. Even go down to 720p. Let it be the option of the consumer. Don't make the decision for us. We want a Quad HD display. It is still a beautiful display. I'm telling you right, it is beautiful, but it's not Quad HD, and I can tell. All right. Now, the pixel count, I wish it was a little higher too. I wish it was more like 500 something pixels per square inch, but it's still a beautiful display. Now, with the rear display, you're getting a 2.9-inch LTPO AMOLED display, also with 120 hertz, which I don't know why a screen this small would need 120 hertz. I don't get that. Dolby Vision, HDR Vivid, HDR10 Plus, 3,500 nits peak brightness. And I'm loving it. You double tap it, you can see that the earth start rotating, and you get a lot of different choices for displays. Or I think you just swipe. Let me see. Swipe. Let me see. I know you swipe this way. I think you get the camera. Okay, so you get the camera when you swipe that way, and when you swipe this way, I think I gotta hold on to. Okay, so you can get different, use different backs for the for your device. They give you a pretty good amount of them, because I know when I got an update, they downloaded a whole bunch of them in here, so you do get quite a few to choose from if you want. I just particularly like the Earth one because when it goes dim, I can still see the time very well. With some of these, once it goes dim, I can't really see the time that good. So I like to have something where I can still easily see the time if I have it on its face like this. Now, this phone does come IP68 dust and water resistant. It's immersible up to 19 and a half feet for 30 minutes. That's excellent. I mean, water resistance. Okay. 19 and a half feet for 30 minutes. That's excellent. You get your always on display, as you can see right here. You get face unlock, which works pretty well. And you get an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor right here, which works very well. Also, you're getting dual stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos, 24-bit sound, high-res wireless audio with Snapdragon sound. Now, let me say something again about the fingerprint sensor. It's an ultrasonic in-display fingerprint sensor. So for those of you who think it's just an optical, no, it's ultrasonic. So it's going to be supposed to be a little bit more secure than your optical, and it does work very well. Also, you're getting a IR blaster. Now, real quick, let me just talk about the speakers real quick. Now, let me say this real quick, even though I didn't say it from the beginning. This is not a review. This is just my first impression. But I'm telling you right now, these speakers on this device are incredible. Now, my ROG 5 is still the champ. Don't get it quick twisted. That ROG 5 that I got, those speakers are ridiculous. I mean, seriously, the loudness, the depth of sound, but these are incredible. They're better than my OnePlus 12, and those are really, really good. My LG V60, I don't know yet. Those speakers are still incredible too, but I got to test those to see how they measure up to these. I haven't done it yet, but man, these speakers are excellent. They have the loudness, but also they have that stereo, that full stereo sound, and that's what's lacking to me from the S24 Ultra. Now, these speakers are the truth. These speakers are really, really good. I'm telling you right now, really, really good. So if you get this, you definitely going to, they're better than the Mi 11 Ultra, and these speakers were really good. But these are on a whole nother level. All right, you get your IR blaster. Now, when it comes to the battery, check this out, y'all. And I know some of y'all probably already know the specs of this device, but for those of you that don't, this is just crazy. You're getting a 7,500 milliamp hour battery. I'll say it again. A 7,500 milliamp hour battery. That is crazy. I've never had a phone with a battery that big. Okay, the only batteries that I have that are bigger, they're in tablets. Okay, those are like 10,000 or 11,000 milliamp hours. This is a smartphone with a 7,500 milliamp hour battery. Look, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna cheat with this first impression just a little bit. The battery life on this thing is crazy. The screen on time on this device is crazy. It's crazy. I've never had anything like it. Not even close to it. I'm telling y'all. And that's all I'm gonna tell you about the battery. It's incredible. Now, battery and charging speeds. Remember, I told you earlier, you get a 100-watt wired charger in the box that charges incredibly fast, especially for a battery this big. But I ain't gonna tell you the numbers until I do my full review. You also get 50-watt wireless charging. Now, I have to get the proprietary wireless charging stand because I do want that because I love using wireless charging. And I'm going to try to get that before I actually do my full review. But if not, I'm not going to worry about it. Now, check this out, y'all. When it comes to reverse wireless charger, otherwise known as power share, listen to these numbers. It's ridiculous, okay? 22.5 watts of reverse wireless charging capabilities. I'll say again, 22.5 watts. You know how much Samsung gives you for reverse wireless charging for wattage? 4.5. Absolutely a disgrace. And that's a $1,300 device. That's ridiculous for that S24 Ultra and also for the S25 Ultra. 4.5 watts of reverse wireless charging. You're getting 22.5. And you're getting 50-watt wireless charging on Samsung. You're still getting 15-watt wireless charging, which is an absolute joke. I mean, I just wish y'all everybody could experience these different types of phone from these different manufacturers like I am, because you're really getting cheated. From Samsung, from Google, you're really getting cheated, honestly. Okay, OnePlus, they have 50-watt wireless charging on their devices, but also now you can't get those through a carrier here in this country. You used to be able to get them through T-Mobile, but now you can't. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know. But the battery charging speeds on this device is crazy. When it comes to internal storage, check this out, y'all. Another outstanding thing that Xiaomi did with this device. Base storage. Listen to me closely. Base storage is 512 gigs, not 256. 512 is the base storage no matter what you get, because you're only going to get either 12 gigs of RAM or 16 gigs of RAM. So you can get 12 gigs for 512, 16 gigs for a terabyte. Yeah, those two choices right there. So you can go up all the way up to a terabyte. This is 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gig, no, and 1 terabyte of storage. That's the one I got right here. Okay, love it. RAM, like I said, 12 or 16. This is the 16 gig and 1 terabyte, because I need space like that, because I fill my phone up with all kind of movies and things like that, and I'm not even finished. You can just see just some of the stuff, and I'm nowhere near finished. I think I'm just over, maybe over 500 gigs, and I still got more to put in here that I want stored in here. Now, when it comes to the OS and chipset, you're getting Hyper OS 3. That's what I'm on now, but you're getting 4 years of software and security updates. It has Android, currently Android 16, and it's upgradable to Android 20. And when it comes to the chipset, you're rocking this phone is rocking the Snapdragon 8 Elite Generation 5. Not the Snapdragon 8 Elite, but the 8 Elite Generation 5. Now, I don't know why it's called the Generation 5. You would think it would be Generation 1, or Generation 2, because the 8 Elite just came out last year. But, it came out this year, I'm sorry. So, I don't know, but this thing is crazy fast, too. Really fast. Now, you're getting Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 8, NFC, and when it comes to these cameras, let's talk about these cameras real quick. Now, you're getting I'm going to say again, 50 megapixel cameras. Now, I know the megapixels is not everything, but on this, it's everything, okay? First, 50 megapixel wide dual pixel with optical image stabilization, a 50 megapixel periscope telephoto with 5 times optical zoom with OIS, and another 50 megapixel ultra wide. Shoots video at 8K at 30 frames per second, 4K at 30, 60, and 120 frames per second. Also, it shoots at 1080p at 30, 60, 120, 240, and 960 frames per second. With the selfie camera, you're getting, another 50 megapixel wide. Shoots video at 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second, and 1080p at 30 frames per second. Now, think about this, y'all. With the Mi 11 Ultra, this had 4K at 30, at 30 and 60, but it only had 1080p at 30 and 60 on the front facing camera. And I was thinking, like, why won't these manufacturers put 4K at 60 on these Chinese phones? Finally, they're doing that. With all the newer flagship phones now, they're giving you 4K at 60 on the front-facing camera, which is the way it should have always been. I don't know if it was something that had to do, with a technicality or whatever. I don't know, but I'm just glad now we're getting 4K on the front-facing camera, which it should be. So you're getting 3 50 megapixel cameras on the backs. You have your 2 here, and then that's a 50 megapixel camera right there as well. In case you couldn't see that, y'all. Hold up. Yeah, 50 megapixel camera right there. So you got your 2 here and 1 there. And of course, you got your small one on the front display. Now, that's pretty awesome. Now, this thing is loaded to the gills when it comes to specs. but it's just not about specs. This thing is a beast. But when I do my full review, I'll share with everyone all the things that I like. And then, of course, I'll share with the things that I don't like. So, and I'll do maybe I'll do a comparison of this after I do my full review of this with the Mi 11 Ultra to show you the differences. But this this was big. They finally took it to another level. I didn't think they would ever get back to this design. I really thought they ditched it for forever, but no, Xiaomi made a huge comeback. They brought it back, and I'm just so happy that they did that because this is pretty awesome. I love this. But there are some issues with this for those of us that live here in the States, so I'll share that with you once I do my full review. All right, so thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody out there is staying safe and staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.